So I know we have very efficiently written some things that we don't want to miss out. So I am going to ask you, Stephane, as a first question, what are you wearing today? I know you're sitting down.
Yeah,
but maybe.
I am sitting, and I will stand up just in a second. And there's just one little introduction that I would like to do to all of you watching, and also to both of us. I mean, really to the whole world. Before I stand up, is that really, you know, we both of us are very affected by what's happening at the moment. You know exactly what I talk about. And we really thought, yeah, are we going to do it? Is it still the right time to talk about fashion, about light-hearted subjects? And you know that, you know, I have been posting a couple of posts on the topic, really, to ask why, etc. And I've been really happy about the answers received, and we share so much these views. You know, life goes on. We prove that we are not fighters on the front. I mean, so that this is not us. But what we can do from remote, we do. We support. We financially, you know, like all of you. What is, you know, financially doable, we do. We support people, and we kind of readjusted a bit our exactly. I mean, I'm seeing, you know, peace out to the universe, and that's really exactly what we mean, you know, to friends all over the world. So we thought we do it because we want to prove that life is stronger, that support is stronger, that peace is stronger, and freedom. So we kind of readjusted a bit the tone. I think there is a reason why, and I'm going to explain you in a second why we wear the colors we wear. And having said that, we enter in the heart of the subject. So I'm going to stand up now.
Can I just say, Stephane, I obviously agree completely with you. Freedom is a very important thing that we both know and adhere to. And obviously this is all about freedom. Okay. So go, go, go.
Yeah, let me go now. You see the color is green, and green is the topic of today. And so you see it's a well, probably you can't see it all. I mean, it's a green trousers, green pants, and a flowing cape matching the pants. So, you know, it's a mixture of I would say a high-end fashion, you know, from the pants, which is from Anya Goku, you know, a local and a well-known, very well-known designer, so local from Germany, and mixed with a sustainable cape from, in the meantime, I would say really my friend. So the brand is called Ulahas, and of course paired with some jewel in green also from my friend Nina from Sweden. So you can see it here also. This is not a promotion. We do not earn any money, but we just, you know, place the symbolic of what we wear.
I love Anya Gokul. I don't know the other designers, but I've been a great follower of her label for a very long time. So it's nice to see that you're wearing her, and I will definitely look the other ones up because they look lovely, absolutely fabulous. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's you know, that there is a symbolic beat, as I said, you know, what we decided to wear, and I think I would like to love to see, you know, what we wear, you wear also. I think we said we would both convene a little bit of green. So
a little bit is the idea here, because my green is the green of I suppose military or khaki, but worn a little bit differently. So I will show you. Hold on one second. I'm in London now, Stephane, so everything's a little bit.
Yeah, we manage. That's fine. We can.
Yeah, we will definitely manage. Okay, so
just the camera. So well, green. Yeah.
I don't know whether you can see it.
I can see it. So,
can you?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm wearing some upcycled khaki male trousers that have been upcycled by somebody called Herbie Man Vintage. He normally takes vintage pieces and he actually upcycles them just to give them a different flavour. I thought it was appropriate for this event, because even things which remind us of war can be changed as a softer look. He's used the piping here. Then this fabulous shirt, which isn't green, but it's also an upcycled item from somebody called Erratic Vintage, which is fantastic. I met her yesterday at a vintage Clerkenwell sale, and this is second hand from Paris, as I traveled quite a bit. And vintage and upcycled pieces are what I wear. I love the idea that you can get something which has a different function and you can make it your own. And of course, you know me and all my rings, they hand-me-downs, lovers' gifts, things I bought. Well, too many, but they all have a special meaning for me.
Yeah, that's what I really learned from you, this upcycling, because I must say so far, I'm hi Irina, thank you, and I'm really not familiar enough with the upcycling, so thanks for explaining it, and I think we'll go a bit more into the subject of what is upcycling. I mean, I must say I'm a complete beginner in this subject, because so far, oh, I like it, and I like the color, I hopefully like the fit, and then I thought, I will add it to my wardrobe, which is probably not the most sustainable, but surely you will educate me during this conversation. But one thing I would like to ask you, you mentioned you wear, did I hear it right, a man's pant, or a pant designed for a man originally? So, can you explain?
Well, I don't know who is going to go first on this. Do you want to ask me, or should I ask you? Because I also have a very interesting question for you.
You see, I
so
got
what
a
are we
duck
going?
ring.
Am I going to ask you first, or what?
Yeah, I can go ahead first, and that's fine.
Okay, I notice
that
you don't wear a lot of collared button-down shirts. Why? Why is that? And how do those shirts feel to you in terms of gender expression?
Well, I would say I used to wear much more in the past, up to, I would say 10 years ago. I wore actually mostly clothes that have been designed for men, so the typical button-down shirt. So I wouldn't wear, this kind of top. I would orient a little bit the camera here. I wouldn't wear this for like 10 years ago. But it's at that time, I realized, well, I love the clothing that has been designed for women originally. So that's why, I don't say the women's clothing. I don't say the feminine clothing, etc. I say the clothing which has been designed originally for women. So I thought, I looked at magazines, I looked at fashion shows, etc. So I said, I don't want to be anymore only a spectator. I want to be active. So, well, I just thought, I'll buy myself some things that were designed for women, and see how it feels. And that's what I realized, a complete different feeling, different look, different touch, different wear. So pattern, cut, softness, even the names of the colors were so different. So I must say, it opened a completely new horizon and a completely new expression. I quit a bit this kind of a stiff to more supple materials with the patterns and all that. So I thought, well, I like it. And it's only afterwards that I started looking. So what does it mean? Yeah. So I guess, how is it for you? I mean, was it because have you also always worn upcycled or things that were designed for men originally? Are you mixing the things, or how do you do that?
Well, I have to say that having been brought up in a pretty traditional business role in my youth, I probably did wear a lot of jackets and skirts and suits to work, a bit like you. But I felt it very restricted. It was me being somebody else, and I didn't feel very good. I wanted, like you, to play. And I couldn't understand really why I could not actually go somewhere, see a lovely pair of well-cut brocade trousers, which they did a lot of in the East for Eastern European men, and get it myself. And I love tailoring, men's tailoring. I find it incredibly exciting, the way it's done and all the different meanings to a jacket. I couldn't understand why I couldn't wear it without making myself feel as if I was, you know, something that, but female, you know, people who automatically thought I was male orientated or was a woman that was more male. And I just thought that's absolutely ridiculous. We're talking, you know, 20th century, 21st century now. And just because I want to wear something and I enjoy it, I don't see why I can't wear it. And I did the same as you. I reflected inwards, and I think I probably did realize that I am very, very feminine as a person. And I think possibly, I have to say, it's something that, you know, I actually wear clothes that are more male orientated per se, because I think it keeps me a bit more restricted, because I'm an artist and I'm everywhere, and if I wear male clothing, I feel it sort of holds me in a bit. So it's a side of, and I am also that side. I do have a business mentality. So I think my clothing is just, as you say, another expression of myself, which I like. But I want that balance of both. And I think clothing is perfect for it. Perfect.
You know, I mean, there is an object I should have right at hand. It would be a mirror. You know, you hold to me a mirror, you know, but just the opposite expression of where I came from, you know, because I thought, you know, the first and frankly, these were a couple of questions that have been asked to me, you know. First time I wore a skirt and heels, you know, the questions were like, oh my God, what's happening with you? Are you transitioning? What is going on? So I had to explain a couple of things. First, so I'm cis, I'm straight, I'm not transitioning, I'm married with a woman, happily married with a woman, no fake parts, no whatever, my real hair and all of that. So by the way, for you know, if anybody is listening who is on the way to a transition, so I have a full respect and appreciation to somebody, to a man who would be transitioning to a woman, or to a woman transitioning to a man. This is completely out of question. I just say it's not me. All right. So because these were the questions that have been asked to me, and frankly, my wife was at the beginning a bit concerned, also saying, you know, well, what's going on with you? You know, this is not the way I knew you. You know, so is there anything? And we had really serious talks about that, because I think it was completely legitimate for her to ask. I don't know, maybe your husband. Actually, I don't even know if you're married, but anyway.
I love it. You know something, Stephane, I love it, because that just goes to show that you look at me as Lupe and nothing else. And I love that. I love that, because that's what I am. You know, I'm me. I'm not whatever anybody puts me in a box. But for your own, you know, and everybody else that's wondering, I was married, I'm now divorced, I'm cis female, identify as female for now.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what's going to happen. I have 2 beautiful children. I have no idea what will happen next year. I mean, isn't that the beauty of living?
Yeah.
Love is love, darling.
Yeah, that's and here you open me, so you open me something. I mean, it's true. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, probably if you would have, or if somebody would have asked me here, you know, about 20 years ago, are you going to be like this, you know, with a makeup or so? I would have thought, well, probably, I would not even have thought about that. So I agree. I mean, life is taking us to paths we don't even know. So I like a lot this open mind. And so to come back to the question, I think that's what I discovered. You know, it's the expression of open-mindedness. And coming back to the mirror. You know, I come from basically the other way around from you. I mean, you say, from an utterly creative environment, and I come from an environment of numbers. You know, I don't even know if I told you where I work ever. You know, but I work in a finance environment. I'm a finance manager in an industrial company. So let me tell you, basically, most male you would see in such an environment are in a button-down shirt. I guess you know the picture who went
Oh, I know it.
around the world. You know, at the CSCE, all the women in the blue suits and the white shirts and the ties. And again, nothing wrong with that, because I am, and it's really something I learned, just to appreciate all the people, the way they want to dress, the way they want to express, the way they are. So I'm not criticizing anything. And by the way, some people also have asked me, you know, but do you expect now that all the men would start to dress like you? I say, no. I have no expectation to other people, except the expectation of tolerance and appreciation. So in other words, my clothing is not changing me. I was Stephane before, I was a man before, and that's still the case. Now, I mean, I don't know you for 10 years, Lupe, but I would say also I know you as Lupe, and that's the thing. I remember clearly, it was never the first thing that I would ask you, because of your haircut, because of whatever, you know, were you always like that? I said, this is not my stuff, you know. I said, this is Lupe,
Exactly.
Dash, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, there's, you know, obviously you wear, you know, the first thing when you see somebody is obviously going to be visual. That's the way we're made, and that's the way it works. But you know, once you get talking and you following on the gram, of course, or anywhere, you get to know the person. You don't really think, you think about what they're saying now, what they actually transmit, the energy they have, the similarities they have with you, and what they're saying, and you know, the rest doesn't really.
That's it. Yeah, I think that's completely it. You know, this is actually the reason why I changed. You know, I'm not here to make self-publicity, but I just chipped that sentences because it fits well. That's the reason why I changed the name of my account about, I think it was 9 months ago. I started with my name and family name, and then I thought, no, I need to put a message in that. And then I went exactly in what you said. I need to see the person behind the surface, the person behind the appearance. And so then I was thinking, I think it was even below the shower, you know, thinking actually the person who counts. So it's the head who counts. And then I was like, you know, the name was born, you know, the heads count, or the head counts, it doesn't matter. And I thought that's it, you know, that's the message. I want to see the person behind the appearance. And I know in my environment, I would say most people I know are dressed, I would say the women dressed in a skirt and the men in the trousers. But I also know, you know, by now things are changing. Also, I would say in a relatively conservative environment, you see people who have tattoos, you see people who have piercings. And also this has been a journey for me, I must say. As a child, in my little conservative France, the few people I heard about, you know, who had tattoos were like, you know, either the people on the boats, you know, the sailors and all that. So, you know, we were a little bit, you know, in our boxes. And I thought it's time to open the box, because the world is changing. Because in my conservative environment, I start to see, you know, I start to guess, you know, I met ladies who are, you know, gay with another lady. I met, you know, men who are married, who at some time they openly start to say, oh, by the way, my husband, etc. So I really thought the world's changing. And that's about the time to make it visual, to really empower people to change and to show also their own change. And that's really the thing I discovered. Still, we empower people, but still a lot of people don't yet dare, or they are asking themselves.
Fear is an issue. Fear is an issue. Also, I do actually think, which is really interesting, is once people understand you, you know, the community you live, even I'm sure in your business, in a way, once they understand where you come from, why you're doing it, and they don't feel threatened in any way or shape or form, they will actually, I believe that people then actually then start not only respecting, but they start protecting you against other people, which I think is fabulous. You know, how many times me as somebody who's obviously older and don't go around hiding any, you know, myself in a way. I've heard people say, oh, look at her, why is she, you know, I mean, really, she should be a bit more acting her age and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I hear, you know, my friends sort of turning around and saying, hey, you know, that's, we know her. She's really cool. You don't know her. You know, so people will defend you once they understand you and don't feel threatened. And I think that applies to everyone. It's just this thing about fear, and as you say, it's to do with fear, not understanding,
Yeah.
and feeling threatened by something. Maybe that they can't do it, but they'd like to. Once people understand things.
And I think that's a very important point. I think that when we live ourselves, I mean, you live yourself in the sense, you know, you live your hair, you live your as a woman wearing your men's pants. So basically, you empower yourself. Obviously, I think I did the same. One thing I think we shouldn't forget is really to take our environment with us. So one thing is good to feel strong and all that. I say, I will have my undercut, I will have my heels. But then I agree, we need to take people with us. We need to tell them what's going on. We need to let them ask critical questions. I think it's really something I discovered. And it's not easy, by the way, you know, when some things are changing. Maybe the first time you cut your hair, opening the dialogue with somebody who will maybe not ask you in a gentle manner. You know, people will not, you know, always ask. They will say, "What's that hair?" You know, so like I remember a person I used to know. The first thing he told me when he saw me like that was, "Do you want to stop your career? Do you want to stop your career?" And I was like, wow, I remember the sweat going on my back because I really got afraid, I must say, because I thought, has he had a point? And then I realized, okay, it's not going to be the only one. Oh, hey, hi, vegan foxy lady. I love what you say. You know, 61 people expect to.
I know, I saw that as well. And I was going to say to her,
another drawer.
I'm on 60, darling. It's the best years ever.
Another drawer. So I think, you know, there's no age to be stylish. There is no age to wear whatever you want. I mean, I have seen that also several times. I don't know if anybody is here from Heyday, but also they place a lot this message, you know, I'm 60, can I still wear a miniskirt? I mean, of course. Of course.
God, if you've got the good legs I've seen, Stephane, on a lot of women over 60 and on you, flipping hell, if I had those legs, I would be, I'd be dreadful. I'm lucky I don't.
So, but that's the thing, you know, I think there is, you know, if I think it's not a question of age, you know, if you're you know, a 20-year-old who says, you know, there's no way I'm going to put a heel, I don't like that, I can't walk in it, I don't feel my style, let go, run flat, that's fine. I mean, run flat, not like a car, run flat heels.
Yeah, no, I know.
I see Elisabetta and Renata applauding. Also, love it. So, I mean, it's really the point. I think what we say here is really just live yourself, and then be open to the question. And I think they are going to be sometimes critical, and take your environment with you, and then where we realize is actually even people then with what we thought would be close to, if we take them, they come with us, you know, at some time they understand what is going on. They understand, first of all, I think, and that's really something I like to say, they understand it's not a circus, right? It's not a theater.
No,
it's authenticity. And I mean, for you, it's probably the same. When you put a man's pant, I mean, it's not a theater, right?
No, not at all. I just love them. I mean, you know, I'm mad about fashion. Like, You are. I love, you know, I love that expression that we are able to use. You know, as a creative, to me, that's a way I paint my life. I don't know. It's the other side of me that I like to bring, and it's gorgeous, and it's really fun. Also, yes, there is a side. You use it as your creative side to bring out the softness that is in everyone. Maybe men hide it more than others, but you know, with me, it's the other way around. I bring it in to show my strong side, to show my strong and logical side, which sometimes is not obvious, but it's there. It's there. It is definitely there. So I use my clothes to bring in that. So, you know, I think that's, as you say, it's an expression of who we are, and I think that's
But
really amazing.
let me ask you one thing. You see, I mean, when you're a woman and you put yourself a pant and all that and cut short hair, so some people would say you masculinize yourself. You may contradict me, but anyway, some people say you make yourself strong. That's all fine. I think by now most people in society accept when a woman, you know, makes herself strong. Now, you know, when a man puts a skirt, then I've heard, and you can contradict me, but I've heard, I guess for me, I would say too many times, people saying, you make yourself weak, you make yourself attackable. I'm like, why on earth should a heel or should a skirt be a symbol of weakness on a man if it's not a symbol of weakness on a woman? I don't know. I'd like to hear what you think about that, because I mean,
I wouldn't go on the heels. I think heels are amazingly powerful pieces of kit of the woman's wardrobe. And yes, I find it odd that people actually, I mean, you know history. I know history. You know that in the different centuries, men wore heels, and it was a luxury item that only certain people that had the power wore, and then women wore it. So first of all, it was men anyhow. So I don't get it, but maybe people don't know about history. So fair enough, you know. But a skirt? I don't have an issue with any of those, because I think that's crazy, because the skirt isn't going to make you look weaker. I can't see why it would. I would say that a top, or I did actually notice, Stephane, that you do wear clothing which is quite fitted, softly fitted, to be fair, but fitted-ish. I find, and that is, you know, women tend to use their bodies more, right? They generally, traditionally, they mold their bodies. It's that, you know, that whole fertile thing, you know, of God knows from when we were sort of at the beginning of creation, you know, that women were more rounded, more fertile, more something or other. But you know something, and we both know this, we've done that bit. Evolution is changed. We're now in a different, completely different world. We've evolved. We don't need to show our fertility on display. I don't think men need to, you know, show their strength. And we all know that men and women have, you know, different qualities that work brilliantly together. I mean, you know, that I think it's something that's a remnant from some old, and I'm sure that a lot of people will criticize it, from some old archaic. I think we've evolved.
Yeah,
I don't think that the clothing aspect, or the, you know, has evolved as well. I mean, that's my thought.
Yeah, and I think it needs to evolve, because I think that the differentiation of language in the clothing is key to also make sure that people show their personality in a I would say in an all around way. You know, we came from, you know, you work in an artistic environment, so you show, you know, the business, the rationale, and I do the contrary. So I think that for me there is nothing wrong, and if somebody is listening, I mean, feel free to contradict and then to say no, I can't, because I mean, I think we are here also to get stimulated, you know, and by people having a point or so, and that's so. I think there's a lot of still of education doing. So that's not something I would like to ask you, because I mean I've seen, you know, I've seen I'm in Brighton, where they live a very flamboyant and expressive. Anything goes there. Yeah, cool to read. Yeah, it's I think it's very depending on the cities, you know. So I didn't know Brighton was like that, really.
Oh, it's very, very lovely down there. It's very flowery and it's very creative. Yes.
Yeah. Um, so the thing I wanted to ask you is, now when you do your program, the Green My Wardrobe, is it about just only sustainability, or how much of a portion of, I would say, you know, going new ways, or showing personality, how much of that is in your program?
Well, this is what's really quite exciting here, because obviously in my program, the main thing is sustainability, you know, how to get past that sort of madness. And this is obviously one of the things that I'm doing in the future. Well, you know, shortly. It's all about how to get over this overwhelm, because people are overwhelmed, because there are so many things about sustainability and people think, oh my God, I've got it wrong. Oh, well, I won't do it because I just am too confused. So it's about, I do it in a 10-step program, and I'm relaunching it in June, because I've realized the importance of, you know, through you, of course, Stephane, of the diversity. And I think I have to add more of that side to it, because obviously sustainability, as we know, and you know how important it is.
Yeah.
And that's why we started with this conversation, both of us together, because we both realize that sustainability is for everybody. It has no, you know, it's everyone.
It has no gender, right? I mean, sustainability has no gender. Like,
there's no gender. And I realize that sometimes, you know, because a lot of what I do is in fashion, there is more about that attracts women in sustainability, because you automatically think clothing, and there tends to be more pieces for women, but it's not just clothing. There's so many other things to it. So I'm hoping that you will be joining me on certain parts of the course to enhance that diversity argument. Because it's important, but it's something that we're looking into, and we will be.
Yeah, I believe also we must. I think we really must link those two subjects.
Yeah.
It's also, you know, I mean, something I have started to think, I would say, over the last let's say last quarter or so. You know, the sustainability coming up, and I was like, you know, those two subjects must be related. How and why are they related? And I thought, you know, what the common point, the link, is because both of them are human-centric, right? The diversity is about, you know, how people live their true self, and how we get empowered them, they can impress themselves, and sustainability is also human-centric in the sense that it's about respect. Now, it's not about only respect to humans, it's also respect to animals, it's respect to nature, to material, to the water, the pollution, etc. But I think there is a real link between these two topics, and that's really something I would like to explore with you, because I'm sure there's a lot that I can learn from your program, how we can bring, you know, I would say the diversity coaching that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Empower people to their clothing, their expression. How can I bring the sustainability aspect in it? Because I believe that people could best express this individual expression by wearing clothes that are really oriented to sustainability, rather than mainstream brands. I mean, like, here again, I mean, no boxes and no prejudice and whatever. But do you also share this feeling, you know, like that there's a fit?
Yes, I do. I really do. And that's why I think we have to do something together on it. Because I do actually think that the thing about sustainability is it's really being true to yourself. So I really would call out anyone that doesn't want to actually make sure that the planet keeps going for them, for their children, just in general. And if you want to do that, then there's no other option. There's just no other option. And respect for our planet, as there is respect for ourselves and, you know, people that we might not understand but want to understand, is primary. I mean, that is the most important thing, is respect. So sustainability is just a thing that allows you, it's a conversation that just, there is no alternative. You have to be. I can't see another way around it at all.
So,
Really.
so what you say is basically that the link between both topics is the respect.
Yeah, respect for us, for our fellow human being, for the planet, for everything. I mean, there might be a better adjective, but at the moment, to me, respect is maybe something that, you know, is a little bit missed at the moment.
It's maybe appreciation also. I mean,
yeah, and appreciation. Yes,
appreciation in the
definitely.
sense, you know, and here also I want to avoid the finger pointing, because I mean, I will not pretend that I have only sustainable clothing. I mean, I have a mass of stuff that I bought that I would say questionable in terms of sustainability. So you see.
Yeah, but darling, you're not going to just ditch everything. Maybe
yeah, but I would like to say, yes, this appreciation. I think when we buy, when I appreciate somebody for what I said before, you know, for who they are behind how they look, it's kind of appreciation. So I would say if I appreciate the animal who has given the wool,
yes.
the silk, if I appreciate, I think it's everything. I mean, it's the cotton. It's I appreciate the person who has done this cape, or who has done my pant, or who has done my pearls. You know, I would say if I buy maybe less, and if I really appreciate what I buy, then I also, I would say, how would I make, you know, a kind of a round picture out of it, you know, saying, you know, it's I'm consistent in the message, right? Would that be the communication then?
Yeah, I think so. And also remember, it's the energy. I mean, if you're wearing something and you know who made it, and you appreciate the texture, I mean, it's all part of you, your appreciation for everything you do. And I think that gives you power, because, you know, you're wearing something and you knew who made it, you know where it came from. I think that's very circular in a way. I really do think that it's good to know where things come from. And when they finish, then you use them for something else, because you just have to use your imagination and creativity. But hey, if you can't, there's plenty of people there that would do it for you. So yeah, I think it's that circular thing. I do believe that sustainability gives you that impact, because once you know you can do it, it gives you that impact to go forward, because then you are in control. No one's telling you what to do. You're actually choosing. You're in control. I think that's not.
I mean, you saw me taking some notes. I think it's really three words that I wrote here: is the power, the circular, and the impact. I mean, and I think that's really something common to the two topics, because when we empower people to be themselves, that's basically the essence of diversity management. Now, obviously, it makes an impact because it changes people, it changes the environment, it increases the appreciation. So I think that's really the thing that also links it to sustainability. Now, on the circular, I have not really found on the diversity how much is it circular. I would say, except for the fact that if I give to somebody, then I can expect I earn it from somebody else. Now, that's one thing that comes to my mind. You know, is you know, I work a lot on what I call empathetic management. It's also a circular element, you know, in the sense I use a lot the expression I give trust to earn trust. You know, it's one of my management principles. So I also believe if I want to give that to people and to the clothing, there is also an element of circularity that I can, you know, by the fact that I showed that I give this advance of appreciation to other people, to the nature, I hope really it will come back, and I guess it will, just because there is a genuine element in it. You know, it shouldn't
Energy.
be egoistic, yeah?
Yeah, and energy. I mean, energy. There is an energy. I see it as circular because when I buy something, I know that I'm not going to, when I've finished or I can't wear it anymore, I'll use it in something else and it goes around. That energy will always be there. And if not, I'll give it to somebody who I know will enjoy it just as much as I do. I just, for me, it's just circular. But I understand from another point of view, it might not be so obvious, but I know you'll find it, Stephane. I
Uh,
know it. And then when you do in your world, then you have to let me know because it's very important for people to understand.
I will, and I will let you know for the reason that I mean I know you asked me a couple of times, you know, when at last are you going to open your program? And then you know, I mean at the moment, I mean I would love to, but I don't have a program. Basically, yes, what I want to do is really to really coach individuals to live, you know, they're authentic, you know, even when it is, you know, unexpected, when it is a bit unconventional. So I think there it's really a question of the energy, and it takes a lot of energy, first of all, for people to change, to really to really show something different that other people haven't seen before.
Courage, a lot of
Courage.
courage.
I think the courage. So I think it takes also a certain selection of articles, right, to really make a statement. So in other words, if I want to say, I want to make a statement that I don't want to say I'm different, I would say I am unique or individual, you know, then I think, you know, that the clothing, I like this your suggestion, you know, of the sustainability, because it makes it unique. Or even the upcycling. I must say I don't wear too much upcycling. You will have to educate me on that. I kind of know buy and wear, but I'm sure you can give me some good hints on how to upcycle. I would think it's also a great thing because it will make it will really maybe show it will really show the people in all their individuality, you know, because
Yeah.
the clothing will be like the person completely unrepeatable, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we all are unrepeatable. You know, we have a lot of things in common, but we're all very unique. So it's very exciting. Very
Yeah,
exciting.
it is. It is. So one thing I will do is really ask you when you run your first Green My Wardrobe #1. Please make sure I join.
No, I have, but
I
I
really,
want to, I'm updating it now.
yeah,
So I need you with me on this. So we will be in touch and
yeah.
so that we can incorporate it
Let's do that. Let's do that.
which would be great. I think that we've been on for quite a while now. So I think that if anybody wants to, I think we should maybe wrap up and just in case anybody hasn't, you know, caught any of this, it will be actually on our live and it will be on video. And I'm going to try and do some sort of podcast thingy. I don't know how I'm going to manage, but I'm going to try. And we'll be both sharing it, I believe, on our profiles because we've talked about some things which are quite interesting for a lot of you out there. So you can catch up later, I think. Don't you think? Stephane,
Yeah,
what?
let's do so. I mean, if you when you save it, then it's really super useful. I will also try to save it on my feed also, and really what I say is I mean anybody here who wants to further discuss, to deep dive, to exchange views. I mean, you know my news, no, not the news, but the direct messages is always open. So you know, I mean, even if I don't respond right on the second, but I try to do it at least in a reasonable amount of time, and I'm always very happy for the exchange that we have on the DM. I mean, I'm so pleased to see so many friends that I am having exchanges regularly. Hi Scott, and then hi Anna and Romy, and then only you know just catching you.
You're right.
So
It's
it's
all good to see
really
people.
super to see you all
And
day. And
yeah, and I do actually realise that it's not an easy time for people in the UK or in Australia or the States this time, but it is possible to catch up later on our social medias and both of our social medias. And I actually ask you definitely to have a look at Stephane's profile and what he talks about. It's very exciting for a lot of reasons, and it's needed today. You have a lot of courage, my darling.
Yeah, I think we come back to how we open, and maybe that's how we'll wrap up here. You know, at the moment, you know, we have a bit of an additional topic in our feed. I want to repeat. I feel really it's needed. I think it's you know, and you know exactly what I talk about. It was never really meant to be I would say a peace activist account. It's I mean, frankly speaking, it's not the purpose, but still I would say it's an unexpected addition to what we do. And I believe that, I mean, what we express, I mean, what we all do about here is all about expression, you know, expression of personality, of appreciation and all that. And what I was really pleased, and I would be really my conclusion, is to hear that also, you know, our friends see the link between the support to others on I would say maybe some light-hearted topics like, you know, clothing expression, but fortunately it also goes over the distance to people who really need more than only support right now. So it's a really
and that we want to make it a fabulous way of still keeping our humanity, because we all need to keep hope, and I think that we have to keep that hope going, because it'll pass. This will pass, and we will be stronger.
Yeah, it will pass. So I mean, really, that's really out to the at the attention of all of you here. I mean, clearly there will be more at the moment, which is, you know, I mean, more posts and more talks, you know, that are not only about fashion, because I think at the moment I really want to use the power of what we do to link it to what's happening at the moment. It is just really something I interestingly need to.
Yeah, we have to remember every day.
Really hope, and I am completely convinced, you know, it will stop at some time. There will be peace again. Then really, then we will be, you know, of course, maybe in a different world. Hopefully not too different, and we will be back to our subject. But I believe that at the moment we can really link what we do to what's happening. I still see that it's really, you know, it's in the matter. I would say I wouldn't consider. I think I would like to say generally, you know, to all people working in fashion, working in whatever industry, you know, maybe the car industry, maybe I don't know. It's not off topic. We need to continue to have a life. We need to continue to motivate people. We need to continue to give hope. I think that's what we said.
Yeah.
And when we do it with our energy, we do it with our topic. And I think we continue to give this faith and this hope for the future.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Thank you so much, Stephane. I was so looking forward to this talk, and it has proved very exciting. And we'll speak again soon. Thank you all for joining us. And I know that a lot of you will be watching this later on, and please let us know if there are any more questions that we can ask on our DMs.
And much love
everybody.
And it was super to see you all. Bye. Cheers. Bye-bye.